I'm picking up something on the satellite. Give me a sec, I'm gonna tune it. Sir, I'm having a little interference. I'm checking it out right now. Hold on. I think we found him. Here we go.
You are listening to Wide Range Media Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of Wide Range Media. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and my co-hosts are...
I'm Pablo.
And I'm Ralph Perez from Strange Planet. How you doing?
I would like to say welcome to everyone at the live chat and the replay, if you listen to it on the replay. Also, 2017 is almost ending, guys. This is the last episode until the new year.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is.
Ah.
You guys got so many thoughts or anything before we continue on?
Good riddance. 2017.
Word. Yeah, this year was bad.
Well, I got a special surprise for you guys.
What?
From my heart to you
What?
guys. Huh?
What?
Oh,
What?
yes. I have concocted the best of Wide Range Media.
This
What?
is 2017 Best Moments of Wide Range Media.
Oh, my
Episode
God.
25, Tom Cruise breaks his ankle.
I'm going to start out with a hilarious piece because this is what we do. We make fun of people when they do stupid stuff. So Tom Cruise did a stunt today and got hurt. So this is what happened. He went like this. He said, "Ready? Action." Right? And they're like, "All right, Tom, here we go. Are you ready?" Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set. Tom Cruise is running. Ready? Cameras. Action. Tom is running, and he jumps, and all you hear is, "Oh, this hurts." CGI. CGI. And then you know how they go back and they replay it on the screen. So they show it again. They're like, "Look, Tom, look what happened. You almost made it, but we can CGI you catching on." Ready? Action. Tom is running. And go.
That is bad. Oh, my God.
Episode 25, Star Wars directors get fired.
I think this is what happened when the Disney saw the footages of Han Solo. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were watching it, and then they went,
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
and then the directors came in. They were like, "What are you talking about? In the contract, we have freedom of speech."
I, the undersigned, shall forfeit all rights, privileges, and licenses herein and herein contained, etc., etc.
And it's like, "Wait a minute, but you no."
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
I was like, "Wait a minute, wait, you can't fire us for this. What was your problem?"
You lose. Good day, sir.
It's like, "Wait a minute, get these guys out of this." Like, whoa, like, wow. And then you know they both went.
Episode 24, We Are Still Here.
It's on Netflix, actually. It's called We Are Still Here. And it came out in 2015,
I remember this.
directed by Ted Geohagen, if I'm saying the name right. And the story is basically, without spoiling anything, is about an older couple, like middle-aged couple who recently lost their son in an accident or whatever. And so they go to a house.
Bad movie.
They move to try to like restart their lives. So they go to some house somewhere out in New England, in the middle of nowhere, near a suburban town, and there's things that are happening in the house. And it's one of
That
those
sounds like The Boy.
supernatural,
Sounds like every movie. now.
It does.
which is
Every
one of the
horror
reasons
movie.
why it wasn't so good. You know, of course, what they
I
don't.
think I saw that movie. It's called The Conjuring.
Well, the difference between
One
The
and two.
Conjuring and that is The Conjuring was based on alleged true events. This is made up from what I know from scratch.
Made
And-
up from every other movie, like The Boy.
Well, you know,
Rocky Horror
there's
Picture
this-
Show.
Well, there's this whole thing about that the house. Let me tell you, this whole thing about the house having been a funeral home at one point in the 1800s, where the mortician kind of went bat wild and did something to somebody, and I forgot exactly who and what. But what happened is those spirits are restless, So they need to be released. And it's that whole thing. And granted, there were some jump scares that were valid. I was like, whoa, that they look creepy. When you see them, when you finally see them, it's creepy, which thus the title of the movie, We Are Still Here. It's like, okay. You know, I gave it 2 coffee cups in the Horror and Coffee umbrella.
Horror and
I'm
Coffee.
going to actually review it and put it up on my
It's
YouTube
on
page.
Netflix?
It's on Netflix. We are still
I think
here.
I saw it.
We are still here.
What's it called? The Babadook?
No. That's to do about a book. The Babadook Duke. But you know, just when you now the ghosts are scary.
Unbelievable.
I give it to them. The ghosts did look creepy.
What, the Babadook?
No. I'm talking about
Finish it! Finish it!
All right. So the second movie, I'm gonna wait for you to stop.
No, go ahead, Babadook. Go to Babadook. Go ahead. What's the second movie you see?
Poltergeist.
Shut up, man.
It's about a family that goes into a house. This and the kicker, this is over a burial ground.
Do you guys out there in podcast?
Finish it! Finish it!
Do you even know what they're saying?
Yo,
you guys are too much.
oh my
The
god.
second movie was worse. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did a trailer review of it not too long ago. It's called Awaken the Shadow Man. Why are you laughing at the title?
Because these titles are stupid. All right, go ahead.
Awaken the Shadow Man. That's right, and that one just came out this, a few months ago.
Oh my god!
And it's about the same crap. The it's a couple with a baby. The baby's freaking involved. They can't stop laughing.
Don't say he's in a house. Don't say he's in a house. Don't say
Not necessarily. No, it's not really about.
Oh boy, I'm done.
But it does involve a community.
Oh my!
Episode 27, Dunkirk.
There were ads for that all the way up when I went. Last week when I was in Paris, there were ads for that everywhere.
Dunkirk?
Yeah.
They were like, excellent, Dunkirk.
Like, wow. It's like,
Come in to
movie's
the theater to see Dunkirk. The biggest epic of the Nolan trilogy.
It's not even a trilogy. What's this?
It's not even a trilogy.
oh, shoot. Terrible. Done. Dude.
From the creator of the Batman. Comes the new Avenger from the highest director in the Hollywood. Christopher Nolan. Dunkirk. In the theater in New York.
Unbelievable. I don't know.
At number 1 of the best 2017 best moments
man.
of Wide Range Media. Episode 13, The Gerbil Morph.
And that's why it came out through the back. It's different.
He comes out through the anus.
I'm like, start picking a body.
anus
part,
morph?
bro. Like,
He's like, oh.
It's an anus morph.
And it comes out the butt. Like, get it out. Get it out.
no, that's
It's a
wrong,
gerbil morph.
Gerbil morph.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
He runs in holding his butt cheeks. Get it out. You see his butt moving. What is this?
This is about Alien, by the way.
Yeah, we'll talk about Alien Covenant.
Yeah, we were talking about Alien Covenant. That's what that was. I can't deal. You guys are too
What
much,
was,
man.
what was the actor that had the gerbil in his butt?
Richard Gere.
That's who plays him in the movie. His cameo, he's the one with the gerbil more.
That's horrible.
He comes out the bathroom like, guys, get it out. Get it out. He goes in the chamber and he's doing his own butt. He's doing his own buttscopy.
Oh my god, you guys.
He's doing an anusoscopy.
Your laughs are contagious. Bro.
Richard Gere in the best role ever. His hipster friend.
Oh no. You're killing me. We need a break. We need a break. Yo, play a song, bro. Play a song.
No, this is good stuff. This is rich. Oh my god.
The gerbil.
Oh my god.
Get into these giggle fits. There's an independent movie maker out there listening to this podcast going, that sounds
That's a good idea. A gerbil alien.
Maybe the guy who did Crackoon can get right there.
Get Jerry Landy to do it.
Yeah. Their word. I'm gonna talk to Jerry. Like, that works. I'm telling you, that's a good idea. Do it for you. You got the raccoons. You got the raccoons. Now you can do the gerbil morph.
Raccoon versus gerbil morph. Terror.
All right, guys. They would have went longer, but anyway, that was my surprise for you guys for the.
That was great. Thank you, Alex. That was great. And for those of you who weren't listening to that, if you want to listen to the whole thing, go on our website. It's there. They're all there.
Yeah.
Check it out.
You see it in the entirety of the whole episode.
Yeah. I still think the gerbil morph idea is great. It's a good idea. And if somebody could pull it off, it's Jerry. Let me tell you, he comes up with great ideas. That will do it.
No, maybe. But yeah, so that was our best of 2017, and I bet there's more to come in 2018. But now let's get to the movies of 2017. So we're going to go around the table because we don't know what each other have. So we do not know what Ralph have. I don't know what Pablo has as their fives. So Pablo, explain the rules.
Okay, so since this is the last episode of 2017, we thought we are going to do the top 5 best movies of 2017. Now, when I was putting this list together, a lot of the quote-unquote Oscar movies usually come out towards the end of the year. So there's quite a few movies that I didn't see. So this is not the best of 20. This is the movies that I was able to see. And to me, they were the best. It could change as I see some of these other movies that came out. I mean, there's like Lady Bird, which is out in theaters, which I hear is really good. Darkest Hours, which I hear is like all these Oscar-worthy movies. The Great Showman, which I haven't seen yet. The other one that escapes me, the one that they took Kevin Spacey out and they replaced him with Christopher.
All the Money in the World.
All the Money in the World. 3 Billboards. So there's a lot of movie. Shape of Water, which is another one that I haven't seen. Like these are all Oscar worthy, or they're getting a buzz. And we haven't seen. I'm sure you guys probably didn't see many of these movies also. So again, this list is the list that we put together based on the movies that we were able to see, and we thought it was the best or the top of 2017. The way we're going to do this is none of us have seen the list. We haven't shared the list prior to the episode.
Yes.
So everything will be a surprise. Although based on what we've been talking about throughout this year, we can probably guess. But anyway. So we're going to go around. We're going to say our number 5 through number 2.
Okay.
Then we'll talk about honorable mentions, movies that didn't make the top 5, but we thought that were very good. And then we each reveal our top movie of 2017. And that would be this segment.
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, who would like to start first?
Ralph,
Damn. Okay. So why am I always first?
because you're new here.
I'm still new. I'm still the new guy.
No, see, it would have been Silvio, but now
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Okay. I have it right here. Do you have a sound effect like drums roll or something?
Just our voices.
Okay. The first, the number 5 coming in at number 5.
No,
in
no,
order of
honorable.
pre-
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Okay.
Here it is. It's
Yeah,
going to be in order of preference. Okay, that's
yeah,
kind of the way I looked at it.
Yeah, you're right.
The fifth, my fifth favorite movie of 2017 was, Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Wow.
Number 5. It's on the bottom of the list, guys. I have my issues with it. I'll explain something that kind of came to me about what I'll bring that up later. But anyway, that's the whole thing. We talked about it last week. If you guys want to check that video out, we had a whole episode last week just about the release of The Last Jedi, and it's all there on our YouTube channel. Come check it out. Okay. So that's that. Now, number 4. My number 4 was for me Spider-Man: Homecoming. I really liked it. It was great. I love the new way they are approaching the whole Peter Parker Spider-Man story. It's not really a reboot of Sam Raimi's version at all, or the other version that came out after him. That one was so forgetful. I just forgot it. So this one here is pretty good. I loved Homecoming. I love the fresh new perspective it had without compromising the integrity of the story arc regarding Peter Parker and where he's at.
Okay.
And how it fits well into the Marvel universe. Number 3, you guys are not going to like this one, but to me, it's my favorite. One of my favorites of 2017, Alien Covenant. That's right. Alien Covenant. And the reason why I liked it is that even though it wasn't the greatest alien movie in the planet, the first 2 films made in that franchise still remain the best. That movie kind of bridged a great gap. Would have, because they're not gonna. Apparently, there's news out that they're not gonna make a sequel to it. But it did connect Prometheus, which everybody was like, "Where's the alien?" to this. And you kind of see the development and how David the android kind of put it together. So if we have anybody to credit now for the creation of the famous xenomorph we all know and love, it's this android called David. So we kind of got that. So I'll leave it at that. Now, number 2 is, funny enough, a horror film that's not very huge and big, but to me, I enjoyed it so much that I did a review on it in my Strange Planet channel. You can always check that out. And I recommend it. If you want to see a good horror film that has this kind of John Carpenter 80-ish feel to it, but yet it was made this year. It's called The Void. Okay. And it just came out on Netflix. They just put it on Netflix, so you can catch it there now. And it's an incredible story about this. You know what's weird? When you think of the movie Stranger Things, there's almost like a parallel similarity there. There really is, now that I think about it. But it was different. It was like it involved a cult surrounding trapping people in a hospital where apparently this connection between the physical world and the dark spiritual realm was about to accumulate. And it turned out to be some cool, creepy stuff that I saw in that movie. And I liked it. I just liked it very much for what it was. It was a good horror film, entertaining. I can't say number 1.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So for me, the honorable mentions.
Oh no, we'll do that after we give our.
Oh, okay. So I'm done.
Yep.
Okay. Pablo.
You
want me to go? Pablo, you want to go or
me? Okay.
Yeah, if you want to go. Go ahead.
All right. So my number 5 movie, which happens to be 2. I have 2 horror movies in my top 5.
Cool.
And the 5th one for me was It. I thought this movie was first of all, it caught everyone by surprise. I mean, I think in terms of how much money it made, it's up there with the I think like the top 5 movie grossing movie of 2017, which was a surprise, especially for a horror movie. But I thought this movie was great. I got to see it twice in the movie theater. It's that type of movie that the second time you see it, it's even better than the first. And it's out on rental, and I'm gonna see it again because it's just just such a good movie, and that it's the fact that it's a horror movie and so many people went to see it. I'm really happy for the horror genre, especially going to 2018. But it is a great horror movie. So that's my number 5.
Awesome.
My number 4 is Wonder Woman. I thought it was the best summer movie. I thought that it was just very unique and refreshing, and a different take on on an origin story. And I mean, it had some problems with the third act. I thought it just fell apart a little bit, which kind of happens with all superhero movies. But overall, I thought that Wonder Woman was a great movie and a bright spot for like the DCEU. I think the only bright spot.
Agreed.
So number 4 is Wonder Woman. Okay, number 3 is my other horror movie, and that is Get Out.
Oh.
Is that considered a horror?
It's considered. I mean, even Jordan Peele said it, that it's. I mean, it's a commentary on society today, and but it's when it comes down to it, he even said it. It's a horror movie. It's a straight up horror movie. And I'm really happy for Jordan Peele. I mean, it's his first movie that he's directing, and he just knocked it out of the park. This movie is great. It's again very original. I like that. It was a low budget movie. They pretty much gave him the free reins and said, "Here, you have a vision, run with it," and he did. And he put together an outstanding movie. I saw Get Out twice. I think all the movies in my top 5 I've seen multiple times. But this one, it's just just to have 2 great horror movies.
Yeah.
On my top 5 for 2017, just speaks for where the horror genre is going.
Absolutely, so, I agree.
So that is my number 3, and finally, my number 2 is Logan. And Logan came out like early in
March
2017. Yeah, so this is an early, and this movie really made an impression on me. I thought that it was again another original take on a superhero movie. And I don't know if you could. I mean, it's obviously it's a superhero movie, but it's just a great overall film, and I'm hoping that this movie at least gets some nominations.
Oh no, it's not.
It's not, unfortunately, and that's
not.
Because Hugh Jackman was amazing.
I think he's gonna get an Oscar for Greatest Showman.
I haven't seen it, so I really can't comment on it. But he definitely needs to be considered for this role because he was excellent. So was Patrick Stewart. I mean,
yeah. Well, Patrick Stewart is anything he touches turned to gold. So yeah,
he's great in everything. Yeah. So that's my 5 through 2. It, Wonder Woman, Get Out, and Logan.
Alrighty. My list is gonna be way off. All right, number 5 for me is John Wick 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, you like those kind of movies.
Yeah, I like the action movies.
Yeah.
To me, the reason why I like the John Wick 2 was because I think the story wasn't done yet, and I like the whole ending of the cliffhanger of him running with the dog. Like, it was just more to the story. But I mean, if I had to pick between 1 and 2, it would be 1. But I thought 2 was really good in terms of action. Number 4 was Spider-Man Homecoming. Me and Ralph hit that on the 4. To me, that was not the best Marvel movie of the year, but I thought it was the best to the comic movie, superhero movie. Like, I felt like I was watching a comic book come to life. Like, it wasn't like tweaked or nothing. Number 3 was Logan.
Mm.
I love Wolverine, so I was like,
Yeah.
hands down. Number 2, Star Wars: Last Jedi.
Mm.
I saw it twice in the theater. Out of all these movies, I saw it twice in the theater.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, that's my top 5-2.
Cool. All right.
Now you
So
want to do an honorable mention?
Let's go backwards. Why don't you start with the honorable mentions?
Me?
Yeah.
My 3 are Wonder Woman. I just picked it because it's the only DC movie that came out in December. So I mean, in this year. So I was like, whatever. Wasn't too thrilled with Wonder Woman, but I guess I'm
Well, it wasn't the only DC movie that came out this year, but
I'm not counting Justice League.
Oh.
That's a shelf movie, bro. It's right in the shelf. Number 2 is Baby Driver.
Mm.
The action was good, but I didn't care about everything else. And number 3 was Get Out.
nice.
That was my third one.
Very nice.
That's my honorable mention.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so good.
I have 4 honorable mentions.
You said 3 when we were talking.
I know,
You just
but I
added
could-
another one.
But honorable mentions, it's not like a list. It's just thrown around. So I'll just throw it out real quick.
I should have just said 50 Shades Darker.
That was your top one?
Ew.
I didn't even see it, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What do you got?
All right. So honorable mentions, I have The Big Sick.
Yes. I
that's a-
remember
yeah.
you talking about that one.
Yeah, that's a great comedy. I thought it was the like usually every summer you have the like that Dark Horse movie that just
Yeah.
comes out of nowhere
Mhm.
and surprises everyone. And I thought The Big Sick was that this year.
Cute.
Okay, so I also have Thor Ragnarok.
No, I
Um,
forgot about that.
yeah, it didn't quite make the top 5, but it's definitely up there. I just couldn't. And all of these I was struggling with, like putting them in number 5. They could have easily been my number 5.
Mm.
My other honorable mentions is Baby Driver
Mhm.
and Spider-Man Homecoming. So those are my honorable mentions.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming really made an impact on all of us.
It was really good. I'm looking forward to part 2.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest.
Okay, my honorable mentions, going from 3 down, is it's a horror film,
Okay.
a funny horror film. Now I wouldn't even call it a horror film, but it really held my attention. I actually liked it. A lot of people would disagree. Happy Death Day,
Okay.
about the girl that woke up and she couldn't get up. You know, she couldn't snap out of the same day. She kept on waking up and getting killed at the end of the day, and she had to solve the clue as to who was killing her and how to stop it, so the pattern could stop.
Mhm.
You know, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's I could even watch it again and be entertained, and like it was fun. So that was number 3. Number 2 is Logan. Yeah, I did enjoy Logan. It was such a new, dramatic, different twist to the whole X-Men series, and it really kind of like put a decent close to that character in regards to passing the torch, so to speak, to the new generation of X-Men or mutants. Number 1, honorable mention. Very entertaining movie. I enjoyed it. Thor Ragnarok. I saw it when it came out. I went to see it. And wow, I was like from beginning to end. So like I was like this. You know, like it was so eye candy. Like it was great. Like the visual effects, the special, everything about it was great. And I like how it's starting to kind of like we're starting to see the beginning of what's going to become Infinity Wars, which is coming up this year. So getting ready for that. Those are my honorable mentions, guys.
Okay. So now you want to do the number 1?
Yep. Now let's do the number 1.
All right. So Ralph, you start number 1.
Okay.
Started around. What's your
The
number 1?
My number 1 movie I enjoyed this year in 2017
Mhm.
was, you're gonna laugh, Wonder Woman. I actually, yeah, I like, you know, that for years people have talked about when they're gonna make a Wonder Woman movie. They got Superman, they got Batman, they got Spider-Man. Where's Wonder Woman? Well, guess what? Wonder Woman came out finally this year, and it worked. It worked that it is right now DC, the DC film, that's their golden jewel right now. Okay,
It might be the
Because
only one.
it might be the only one for now, at least for now. They
Until
need to up their game. because because this movie, I loved the presentation of Wonder Woman, how she grew up, her origins, and the whole story that happened, World War One, and with Chris Pine and that whole thing. So I really, really like that movie, and I'll see it again and again and again.
All right,
Very cool.
There I go. That's my number one. Next,
All right, who's next?
You.
Okay. My number one movie, and I think you guys know which one is my number one movie.
What's your number one movie?
This movie, like I said when I first reviewed this movie, every once in a while a movie comes along that really just speaks to you. And this movie spoke to me on so many different levels.
yeah,
And that was Coco.
yeah.
I saw it twice in the movie theater,
Wow,
and I can't wait to see it again.
that's great.
I mean, if I'm not gonna give my full review, I've done it in the past, but just I think it's by far the best Pixar movie ever.
Mhm.
It's the best movie of 2017, and I'm hoping that the Oscars not only sees this movie as and puts it in the best. Obviously, they're going to put it in the best animated category, but really puts it in the best picture. I mean, come on! I think it's time. I think it's time for an animated movie of this caliber to at least be, mentioned with the other, best pictures.
It probably won't be best picture. It'll probably be best animated picture.
Oh yeah, I think it'll win hands down because there's no other animated movie that came out this year that can really top it. But I
agree.
I mean, come on, this movie it's such it's near perfect. And the second time I watched it, I was trying to see if there were any loopholes in the story, or the detail to the story and how they were able to really answer all the questions. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing movie. I loved Coco, and I think it's going to be my favorite movie next year and the years to come because that's how good this movie is.
By the way, Jose Rosado says, "What's up?" He just joined the chat, so here we go.
My number one movie of 2017. It's not a freaking DC movie. Tell you that for a fact. No, not Justice Crap. Is Coco.
Oh
wow!
Look at that. You two. Wow. Right.
Look at that.
Coco wins hands down, man. I don't know, man. It's out of all the movies that I saw, even on the list, or even the other ones that I didn't mention or whatever, you came out the theater like you didn't know what to. It's like one of those movies you didn't know what's gonna happen. Like you get emotional, you laugh and you cry and blah blah blah. But the music on that damn soundtrack is amazing. Out of every, I don't know how, because I always when I talk to my friends, I always tell them that sometimes a movie is really good when the soundtrack is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And if the soundtrack, it depends on the movie, but like a musical, if the soundtrack from head to toe is amazing, then the movie's going to be good. Like Grease, Rocky Horror Picture Show. The list goes on these greatest musical.
I agree. I definitely agree.
And Coco from beginning to end is one of the, first of all, I love mariachi music. Like it's just one of those things that even when you hear it, you like it. Regardless of what
the Disney theme at the beginning of the movie,
and mariachi is amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, it's one of the best things they ever did, and I think hands down, Pablo's right. This is the best cartoon I think they ever produced in that Disney studio.
It's a gorgeous looking movie,
and I liked Cars 3. I'm not knocking Cars 3. Cars 3 was the best one out of the trilogy, but Cars had its days when it was number one, and I think Coco is, Incredibles 2 has to do something to knock this thing off the pedestal. But in terms of that, right now, I agree with Pablo. It is one of the best cartoons. I didn't get to see it twice. I'll wait for it when it comes digital, but then I'll just warp it also. But it's a great movie. It's a really, really good movie.
There's a point that you made about musicals that I wanted to make last time and I forgot. The difference with this because it's considered a musical, but the difference with this is that it's not a movie like a musical, like the movie's playing and then all of a sudden they break out in a song. The music the music in the movie is part of the story. And that is what is amazing about it. So when they break out into a musical, quote unquote musical, it's part of the story.
Yeah.
No, it's not like they're just going through something that's a scene and then they just start singing it out. No, it's part, and that's what made it so original too and unique. I mean, you look at movies like Grease and La La Land and all those movies, great musicals, but they break out into a musical.
Yeah, like they walk into a store and all of a sudden it's like, pick up this garbage milk. Oh, they got a milk. And then everyone starts dancing. You gotta pay $2.50, like 50 cents for milk. Yeah. If you don't got milk.
But when they break out into songs here, it's because it's part of the story and they're pushing the story forward. And that's what I love about this movie too.
No, I agree. And I think the best song out of the whole soundtrack is Juanita. That's the best song, hands down.
And if you think about it, it's part of the story.
It is, because that was his friend's song before he croaked.
Yeah.
But
non-spoiler.
Yeah, non-spoiler, but
never mind.
You didn't hear that, bro.
No, you didn't hear that. What? I thought that was cool. And it's funny because Baby Driver was along the way as a musical, if you really think about it. And that's where, to me, it fell flat, because I was like, if this is a heist movie, then be a heist movie. I kind of understand where they were trying to go with him listening to music wherever he goes because of the humming.
Yeah.
That's where, to me, it fell flat, because I was just like, this is like, me and my wife was like, this is really like not entertaining, like at all. Like, I don't know. This is just me. Maybe I watched too many action movies and I didn't like the hybrid of an action musical type thing. But the cast was amazing though. But anyway, in terms of the number one movie of 2017, I will say hands down is Coco. Now let's look into the live chat and let's see what people have as their list. Sita says her number 5 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 4 is It. Number 3 is The Big Sick.
Number 5 is It.
It's honorable mention, actually.
Yeah, but she has Spider-Man. Oh, honorable mention.
Spider-Man Homecoming is honorable mention.
Yeah. Yes, number 5 is It. Number 4, Big Sick. Number 3, The Last Jedi. Number 2, Wonder Woman. Number 1 is Coco.
Nice.
Emma says number 1 to her was It. Number 2 was Logan. 3, Coco. 4, Spider-Man. 5, Wonder Woman. And then her honorable mentions are Thor, John Wick 2, and Get Out.
And Cars 3.
And Cars 3. So, honestly, it's pretty funny because if you look at that whole list, it's a mix of superheroes, comedy, and action, and horror.
I mean, we pretty much had the same movies, just in different orders and honorable mentions. I think the one that kind of stood out was Ralph's Alien Covenant. I was shocked by that one.
Yeah, that's very shocking for a movie that got canceled.
It did, and it was sad because I would have loved to have seen how that ended, how that linked finally to the 1979 classic. But
it wasn't gonna happen.
Maybe one day it will. Hey, look, never say never.
Disney is not going to bring that back out. I'm telling you.
I didn't say. Hey,
I'm just saying, never say never. I'm telling you right now, Disney's not.
Well, what is Disney really going to do with the Alien franchise?
Shelve it.
Well, then why don't they sell it to another film company so that they can continue it?
Well, here's the thing, guys.
No, I want Alien Ultra myself, and then they're going to shelve it.
Here's a quick update I saw on Twitter before we went on live. And Ralph might know this because he's more of an Alien guy than I am. But remember before Ridley Scott did Prometheus, and that there was talks about a possible Alien sequel with
Sigourney Weaver.
With Sigourney Weaver and this guy.
Neil Blumhouse. Blumberg or whatever.
And I forget the I don't know who was going to direct it, but there was some storyboards that kind of came out on the internet.
I remember that.
Okay, well today, that guy, I don't know if he's the director or not, he started releasing, like out of the blue, he started releasing more storyboards, updated storyboards on Twitter, and it kind of created a little buzz. That to go along with that, now we know that Disney bought 20th Century Fox. We know that they now own Aliens
and Alien Predator.
And now we know that they shelved Ridley Scott's vision. I'm wondering if there's a little talk about maybe bringing that And maybe Disney will go with that. And I mean, I don't know. It's just a coincidence that this guy, out of nowhere, just started tweeting again new storyboard. So anyway.
The problem, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but the problem is I don't think people are gonna. If people didn't go out to see this second one, I don't think people are gonna go out to see the other one. But I can't see it.
If they bring back Sigourney Weaver, and I keep forgetting the other guy's, the actor, he was in.
I know you're the Hux, Hicks, or whatever. Yeah,
if they bring them back and they do like a direct sequel of Aliens, like they'll keep the first two, Alien and Aliens, as canon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forget about Alien 3 and all that. They get rid of that, and it's a direct sequel of Aliens.
Yeah,
similar to what the whole Halloween thing is doing, where they're bringing back John Carpenter and they're bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's going to take place right after like the first Halloween. Like if they do something similar like that, I think people might give it a chance and may come back.
I think the only way it does if they get James Cameron. If they don't, and let's say they do film it, and nowadays we're all into the whole Rotten Tomatoes and reviews. If it stinks, no one's going to the theater.
But maybe if James Cameron comes back, not as a director, but
no, as a producer, like John Carpenter. Yeah, like John Carpenter. Then people will say, "Oh, wow, that's pretty good."
That could work because isn't James Cameron back for the new Terminator? Isn't he involved?
Yes, he's a producer. Yeah.
So yeah. So Terminator is another great example. We know Genesis was terrible, right?
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
And we know that people like pretty much had it. But now if James Cameron's on board and he does something new with Terminator, and I would definitely go see it. Whatever next Terminator movie is, and when it comes out, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it too. I mean, it's just one of those franchises. But let's go into the box office numbers, because again, everyone with this whole Star Wars fiasco that's been going on with petitioning Rotten Tomatoes and kicking off all this stuff.
Yeah.
Star Wars became #1 again this week.
In the box office?
In the box office with 27 million on a Tuesday.
Is that domestic?
Yes. And it just passed Wonder Woman for the highest grossing 2017 movie of 2017.
Wow.
With $423 million.
Wow, ka-ching.
I read that it might pass Beauty and the Beast to become the highest grossing movie of 2017.
Yes. Right now, foreign is at 420 at a worldwide total of $843 million.
Close to the 1 billion mark, man.
Yes.
Close to the 1 billion mark.
One close. So that it looks like that all those backlashing and all that stuff didn't take a toll at the money.
And
go ahead, Ralph.
No, this is something I wanted to mention since we're talking Star Wars, I know. Can I mention it now? Or should we wait till after we do the numbers?
Well, I was going to just mention something about numbers. I know that from week 1 to week 2, Star Wars had the biggest drop off. I think a 69 or 70% drop off rate, and so people started freaking out, and they thought because of the backlash, everything like that. And it is a big drop off. I understand that. But I mean, it's making its money.
Yeah,
it's making its money. I mean,
by virtue of it being Star Wars.
I mean, I think the production was what, 150, 200 million.
The production cost.
Yeah,
they haven't released it.
They haven't released it, but let's say 150, right? Let's just be modest. I mean, a 150 million production cost.
They made it back by 100. Like
it's definitely a success, and always. Like in a trilogy, the second one is always maybe like the lowest one, but I think the not number 3, episode 9, but the third in this trilogy when it comes out, I mean it's gonna break records also. So I think Star Wars is fine. People were freaking out at first. Star Wars is fine, and if you notice, I didn't even put it on my honorable mentions or my top list.
Yeah,
I mean I'm gonna see it again, and I'm gonna go with a different perspective. When I go see it again. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole thing right now, but I'm going to go back and it'll probably go up on my list, and it might end up in the honorable mentions. But as of right now, it didn't even make any of my list.
Oh, that passed all the movies that I saw this year. But in terms of Star Wars Last Jedi, because of Star Wars Last Jedi, it made Disney #1 in terms of domestic with $2.27 billion for the year. As a studio.
Yeah.
But that's all thanks to Last Jedi and Beauty and the Beast. And then coming in second is Warner Brothers with $2.2 billion.
Oh,
in the box office, and
that's
that's
surprising.
That's due to Wonder Woman and It.
That's surprising because I thought that whoever was going to come in second was going to be like way.
No,
That's close, right? 2.5, 2.2.
no, not 2.5. 2.27.
No,
And then-
Disney. What was Disney number again?
2.27.
2.2
2.27.
or 2.27.
Yeah, 2.27.
And what about Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers is 2.02.
Okay, so it's only a difference of 200 million.
Now, if you really think about it, if Justice League was a hit,
Yeah,
it would have had a battle between
you're
the
right.
companies. But
That's good.
since Justice League stunk,
That's good for us as audience members, people who love movies. If there's healthy competition and different studios are doing well, that means that's good for us.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, you know, I mean, again, Star Wars, God.
Well, in terms of the Marvel Studios, it made $5 billion domestically, and it crossed
Wow.
$13 billion globally thanks to Thor Ragnarok.
You talk about all the movies.
All the movies.
Of this year so far?
No. In terms of
All time.
general,
Oh, okay.
in general, because of Thor,
How much
it-
globally?
$5 billion,
No, overall global.
13 billion.
All right, so 13 billion, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's put this in perspective to
Mhm.
see how successful this thing is. I mean, they're just printing money, right?
Mhm.
Okay, $13 billion, right? And I think that's 17 movies,
12,
12
I
movies.
believe. Yeah, 12.
Okay, all right, 12 movies, $13 billion. How much on average you think every movie costs to make?
An
100
average,
million?
I say 170 to 230 or 250.
All right, let's be generous. Let's say 200 million.
Okay.
Right? All right. I gotta break out my calculator for this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's say on average 200 million, right?
Yeah.
200 million times how many movies? 12?
Mhm.
12. That's $2.4 billion. Okay. That seems like a lot.
Mhm.
Right? Track $13 billion,
Mhm.
and you're left with what?
I don't know. You have the calculator.
13, 13 billion,
Hold the calculator up to the screen, man.
2.4 billion, we say, right?
Mhm.
2.4 billion. Wow.
Doing math.
We're talking
right
about
now.
10 We're talking about a profit
Mhm.
of $10.6 billion.
Now that's 12 movies, and it says here compared to 31 movies that Warner Brothers put out. They didn't even reach those numbers.
$10 billion profit.
That's crazy.
My wife said it's 11.6.
11.6. All right. My calculator was off.
The calculator's wrong.
My calculator was off by 1 billion.
Calculator's
No, she
wrong.
said 10.6 with an asterisk. I don't know. Stop. You're supposed to be
Oh, wait.
working.
Wait, you said 10.6? So my okay.
You got it. Whatever. It's a lot of freaking
It's a
money.
lot of
man,
money.
between-
It's a lot of billion.
It's a few more extra bucks. What are you gonna do? Give or take.
No,
a
but
few bucks.
seriously though. No, but seriously, if you really think about this,
Uh-huh.
with the acquisition of Fox Studios,
Oh my goodness.
I cannot see how Warner Brothers could succeed next year. And the best thing about it is now we're a full year of live YouTube now. Like we
Mhm.
came in half of this of the show because we did podcasts and now we went YouTube. Now
Yeah.
we're going full YouTube for the whole 2018.
Yeah, and we got surprises in store for you guys.
Oh, we got
Get
tons
ready
of
for that.
surprises.
Yeah.
And the best thing is that Fox, we did not know this, and I don't know if I texted it to Pablo. Disney now owns the X-Files. What? Yes, it is part of the acquisition of 20th Century Fox.
Oh
Give
my
me
God.
movies. Give me movies.
Yes.
That's all I say.
I know Gillian Anderson says she's Donut Scully, but just show her the money. show her the
that
money.
Marvel money.
Yeah, give us some of that. Just
Yeah, some of that $11.6 billion.
let her smell it from the doorway. Like,
Yeah,
just
you-
open it. Like, look what you can have.
Hell, I think even Harrison Ford will come back and he'll
As a
play
know,
Force
right?
Ghost.
I'll come back as a Force Ghost.
With a big thing on his thing, like. Because I tell you, I think he told Kylo Ren when he got stabbed. I think if you really listen to it close, this is what he said. Because he goes right up to his ear when he stabbed himself, and then he stabbed him harder.
Yeah.
He went, "Thank you." and then he just threw himself like this because he didn't want to be bothered with Star Wars.
No.
When he got stabbed, he looked at his son and he was like, "Thank you." Oh, he just threw himself off a bridge because he was like, "I'm done with this crap."
You really think? You really think that was the? I still don't think. I think Kylo Ren killed him straight up.
I think
didn't
Harrison
he
Ford wanted out, and I think
Well,
the
no,
best
no,
way to
that
do it
I
was
know.
like,
That
yeah.
I know.
He was like, "Get me out!
But
I don't
the-
care
the-
what you do."
But the
He's like,
depiction in the film wasn't that Han Solo wanted Kylo Ren to kill him. Some people think that. That's not what happened. That's what happened in this movie with Snoke.
no, I
Oh
think.
wait! Oh my God!
Wait, whoa! Dang, spoiler!
What spoiler?
That's a spoiler. Not many people saw the movie.
Dude, it's been 2 weeks.
Just because it's 2 weeks doesn't mean people haven't went to the theater.
Is that the 2 weeks? Is after 2 weeks? That's it.
That's
Like,
the
we can
cutoff
just
for you, Ralph. You just spoiled
Oh,
everything.
do you know what the cutoff is? Because I didn't check the memo.
You know what? Then if that's the case, then your cutoff is the next day when the movie's released, and then I'll just spoil it for you.
God.
That's exactly
Ralph,
what it is to these
Ralph,
people.
have you seen Coco yet?
You want to know the ending of Coco? Since it's been already 2 months.
All right. I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait until we did a spoiler review of this last week.
Oh my god! You messed up, Pablo. He said, "Have you seen Coco? Have you seen Baby Driver?" Huh?
No, and I don't care about that. You can tell me all you want about that.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though,
You might
no, but I think Harrison Ford wanted out of that franchise. He did not care what happens for 8 and 9. Because when he came out of the 40-year anniversary, he was just like, he was like,
Good,
hey.
you know, I'm just
He's like-
done with this.
And I love the question. Damn, I'm gonna look for the clip, and I'm gonna play it on the YouTube
Yeah.
because a fan asks him a question, and he tells the fan, "What's your point?"
Dag. Can I just say he's too busy. Isn't he making a Raiders of the Lost Ark 5? I mean Indiana Jones 5 or something?
I don't know if they making that, man.
Yeah,
I thought they
no
were.
news on it. There's no news.
Working on it.
Yeah, if they are, I mean, if they stop him from flying planes, they'll be good. But I mean, other than that, go ahead, Rob. So you wanted to talk about your Star Wars thing?
Well,
that you
here's the
changing your
thing, and
mind.
I'm not gonna say anything to spoil it, all right?
Well,
But
you're
my thing is, well, I'll be like saying this in 6 months, and people will be like, "Why are you spoiling it?" Anyway, here's the deal.
Mhm.
I've thought about it, and you know, I did my review. It's on my Strange Planet channel, and I had my issues with it. But after a while, I started realizing, you know, I started really thinking about it, and I listened to other people's reviews. I've been seeing the whole schism among the fan base online regarding this film. And the thing that I have come to realize is that, you know what? This wasn't a bad movie at all. It was a Star Wars movie. And it was a movie that, even though there were certain things about it that I didn't want to see happen, it's not up to me. And the reason why it's not up to me is because I'm not writing the freaking thing. I'm coming up, you know, the internet has come in with this whole barrage of, if you think about it, the last movie to between Revenge of the Sith, which was released in 2005, all the way to The Force Awakens, which was released 10 years later in 2015, you know, there was no, I mean, there was internet and there was stuff, but there was no stuff like Facebook and YouTube the way they have it now back then. So there was no real, you know, digital venue to kind of spread all these rumors and theories and predictions and all that kind of stuff. So we've been all fed this. And the reason why, especially, and I only speak for myself as a Star Wars fan, is that I am, you know, I saw the very first film when I was a kid in the theater when it was released, and I've been a fan ever since. But I think I'm going through what's called growing pains as a Star Wars fan. It's time to let go of certain things and to move on. And there were certain expectations that were not met, and I have to swallow that, and I have to accept that and be okay with it. And for the people that enjoyed this movie and thought like you, Alex, you loved it from beginning to end, right?
Yeah.
So you know, like for me, it was about letting go. You know, letting go of the past and moving on.
go,
The
Luke.
theme was constantly in the film. Let it go. Forget it. You know,
Oh, Luke.
kill the past. Let it go. Kylo Ren was telling Rey that. The Jedi, the Sith, the this, the that. Let it go. Luke was saying it. Yoda doing whatever. I did it again, didn't I? This is a conversation we should have had yesterday. There's a conversation. This is
How about you just say it without saying anything about the movie? Just say Last Jedi. That's it.
yeah, Last Jedi. I'm changing my mind about it. It was good. You know, it was getting I'm looking forward to seeing what episode 9 has to bring. I'm not gonna try to feed into it too much like I did with this one. And you know, I want to give way to the new generation of Star Wars fans that wants to enjoy it and take on the new characters and the new adventures that are to come.
You
so
know,
that means me letting it go.
To be honest with you, you don't have to let it go. I just think the problem that happened was the same situation with Ghostbusters happened. In terms of, and I'm not talking about movies, I'm talking about the backlash of the fans, because that's the reason why that film bombed all over the place. Is because the minute they announced the cast, I had no problems with the cast at all. I had no problem whatsoever. It went all over the place, and then people started attacking the crew and the cast and the director before the movie dropped. Then the movie dropped, and to me, it was a abomination of the movie because they tried to make it look like Ghostbusters 1 with some corny jokes all over the movie. It didn't work at all. And whereas with Star Wars is a good, like, it wasn't like a horror, it wasn't Ghostbusters bad. It was 10 times better than Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, if I had to pick the both, Star Wars from beginning to end was really good. If you take out the casino scene, it was the best movie, right?
Yeah, that
But
can't
with
go.
Ghostbusters, yeah, with Ghostbusters, it was from beginning to end horrible. And the thing was, it was for the newer generation. Like, and that's what they do with this whole women, you know, empowerment thing, whatever they're going to do with it. I was fine with it. If the story was just like Star Wars, it was really good, I would have been okay with it. I would have said, all right, cool, we got a sequel coming along. No, they did not. They didn't go down that route. They went to a 360 completely off the reservation with this Ghostbusters movie. And it tanked. And then people, you know, and I think the internet is what made it go worse because people started to hate it and then hate it and then hate it and then hate it. When they go to the theaters, oh, this is crap. And then they went onto Twitter and bash all the actors.
It's like it's conditioning us to go hate it.
Yes, and that's the thing. And then the problem is that if people wanted to review the movie, you couldn't because they were like, oh, you're a sexist. And it was even bad because it's like, geez, the movie was really bad. But you couldn't say nothing about it because if it was a guy saying it about the movie, you're a sexist. Whereas now, The Last Jedi, the movie is perfect. Not perfect, but it was a perfect sequel. And all of a sudden, everyone hates it because it didn't go with the theories that everyone wanted. Or
look at my Snoke. Look at my Snoke.
Yeah, you got the ill Snoke. But the thing is like, you know, and then they go with the theories that people wanted, and people started to bash it. Then they started to hate the director. And then they wanted to hate, you know, Luke's the guy who plays Mark Hamill comes out and then he says his quotes to throw more fuel in the fire, and now he regrets it. So to me, I feel like, you know what, at this point is like, if you don't like it, okay, great. You know, I mean, you go on YouTube now, it's like, oh, I bet thousands of videos of theories and breaking down the script and all this crap on the movie. And to me, I don't think it should be like that. I think you should go in the movie and enjoy it for what it is. I mean, that's my thing. That's the reason why I guess George Lucas got rid of it, because he's like, I'm tired of you, you geeks. Don't tell me when to end, because you want to see it for like 80th time. All right.
Well, who you talking to?
He knows who I'm talking to.
Pablo.
He's mad quiet there. He doesn't say nothing.
No, I'm listening.
No, you're not. You texted me. So we're gonna end it here because Pablo wants to see it.
What?
What?
Go ahead, Ralph.
What?
Go ahead. Plug in your Strange
Oh
Planet.
yeah,
NYC.
Strange Planet NYC. I have so far of the at the time of this podcast, I have 98 subscribers.
Oh, that's good.
I am 2 subscribers short of hitting the big 100. So you know, if you liked what you heard
So me
here,
and Alex should subscribe. Now,
and thanks. I
Oh,
okay.
Pablo, why would you say that to Ralph? Pablo texted me and he said Coco dies at the end.
Dag. Revenge. Okay.
Nah, just joking. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Strange Planet NYC, come check it out. It's here on YouTube. Just go put it on the search engine and check out my spoiler-filled review of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. That's up. And you know, and that's
how many views does your Walking Dead?
Oh, the Carl theory. Coral about over 5,800 plus. Don't have the exact number, but 5,800 plus views. And for those of you who've seen it, I thank you. That's awesome.
I saw it.
Thank you, Pablo.
And I told you, when you mentioned the theory here first.
Yes.
On our episode.
Yes, I did.
And I told you right there, then and there. I said that's a good theory. You should do a video on it.
Yeah.
Pablo wants credit.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, say Pablo's idea was for him.
Pablo said it was a good idea for me to post it.
And I'll tell you one thing too. After that video went up,
yeah,
I started seeing other videos
of the same thing
with similar theories.
Oh, about the wound?
About the wound. Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, so someone's riding on your joint, bro.
Oh boy.
You should call him out.
That's all right.
Punch him in the face.
These are ideas. We'll all share them. You know what? At the end of the story, it looks like we're all wrong. Because it's starting to look more and more like Chandler Roots is indeed off of the show. So
yeah, well,
you know,
all
based on what I've been
come to
hearing
an
and reading. Yeah. All good things come to an end. What can I say?
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
this podcast tonight, right? This was a good thing tonight. So
it was
Maybe for the best for him. You know, if he lands something good. Because I was thinking about that. Because let's look at the guy who plays Shane. I forget his name.
Oh, John Bartholomew, something like that.
Yeah, different angle.
I mean, after he left the show, he did a few movies in which he had like a small role.
Yeah.
He was in Sicario. He was in Baby Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he landed the role of Punisher.
He was in The Accountant.
I didn't see that.
Oh. Oh, you know what? It's 2 months past, so he was in The Accountant.
John Bernthal, yeah. So, and he's, you know, and he landed the role of Punisher. Whereas I'm sure if he was still with Walking Dead, he probably wouldn't have been able to land that role. So, you know, he was able to. So maybe that's what happened with Carl. Maybe he'll land. He just got to land that good role because if he, you know, he gets stuck in a bad movie,
he'll be forever be known as Coral.
Yeah.
Well, he could play Tim Drake if you really look at him. And Tim Drake is the son of Batman in the extended universe.
Ooh.
Between Catwoman and Batman. He could play a younger Robin if they want to go down that road. But they're not because DC sucks.
Robin, but...
Well, no, Tim Drake becomes Robin and then he breaks off. But
okay.
But yeah, I mean DC stinks in writing movies, so it's like whatever.
You hear that, DC?
Yeah, DC stinks.
You're in trouble.
You guys saw movies. You guys didn't. You going? I know Pablo wanted to do Bright. Let's do movies quick. Let's do a quick. We did Bright. We saw Dunkirk. Ralph, you saw anything new?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
All right. So while you remember, Pablo going to Bright because me and you saw the same 2 movies this week.
All right. So my review of the week is Netflix Bright, and I'm going to be really quick about it.
Yes. I know.
The movie takes place in it's a modern day. It takes place in modern day LA, and but it with a twist. Whereas there's really 3 main races, right? You have the human race, which is more of like the middle class. You have the elves, which are more like the high class, and then you have the orcs, which is more like the, you know, the
bottom feeders.
Yeah, they're like the lower class, you know, the poor people, if you will. And this movie has a lot of racial overtones. And I think that's what that's what the movie was trying to portray. But I like that whole fantasy cyberpunk type thing. So I really enjoy the movie. Actually, let me take that back. I thought the movie was okay.
Well, you said enjoy, so you can't change it all of a sudden.
I enjoy, like, I actually sat there and watched the whole thing.
Okay.
Which means that I was enjoying myself, and I was. I mean, the movie has a lot of problems, and the third act just falls apart, and there's some really corny parts. But overall, I was enjoying it, and I thought it was a decent movie. It was a good first attempt for Netflix to do an original movie.
Well, I think they confirmed part 2, Bright 2.
Yeah, I heard that there was a sequel. Yeah,
Yeah, they are making a sequel.
yeah.
Thank you,
So-
Jose, for subscribing.
So you're at 99.
I guess.
All right, so maybe the girls can subscribe and give you that the 100.
Yay!
All right, so Bright, the fact why I wanted to watch it and B, review it, was because when the movie came out, I mean, social media just ripped it apart. Even one article said that it was the worst movie of 2017, and I'm like, hello, have you seen Emoji?
Oh,
movie?
Justice League?
This was not the worst movie of 2017. Not even close. It was an enjoyable movie, and someone who, again, likes fantasy, likes cyberpunk settings. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of Zootopia, but just darker.
Oh, okay, that's a good twist. That's a pretty good one.
Zootopia was fun.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
and Will Smith was Will Smith. I forget the actor's name, but the guy who plays the orc, his partner,
Was it Jacob? Was it Jacob?
I forget his name, but Ward. That was a
Ward.
that was
Ward
his
was
name
Will
in the movie.
Smith.
That's right. Ward was the Will Smith character. But anyway, I thought he was really excellent. And again, I thought it was an enjoyable movie. If you like fantasy with a twist, I think you'll enjoy Bright. So
Yeah, his name was Nick Jacob,
that's
his
it.
partner.
Kobe.
Yeah, Jacoby.
Nice.
In terms of, so this is what I thought of Bright.
Mhm.
My cousin was the first one to tell me about it. I was out of the loop on it. I think it was Christmas Eve. We were talking through text, and he goes, "Man, Bright came out," and he was like, "You should check it out." And I was like, "All right." So I checked it out. I liked it. I actually liked the movie, and honestly, it's one of those movies because I like fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Like I always like those futuristic movies or like what I like those things as long as they don't take the plot and make it into this thing like over dramatic or over like complicated, like try to solve. This one was a well done movie, and I laughed because I was like, wow, this was better than Suicide Squad. If you really,
It was
if you really think
same
about it.
director, same director.
Same director, right?
Yeah.
Same director and the same cast, almost. Like
Well,
I mean,
Wilson.
most of the there was other people also in Suicide Squad there.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay. I was like, let's see it. So I thought it was like a mixture of Bad Boys with, because I mean, it was very Bad Boys, but to like more modern take of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
I did too.
I'm really looking forward to the sequel.
Yeah.
And that's hard for me to say on a Will Smith movie because I'm not big on Will Smith.
Mhm.
But I think this was a role that, again, that I like him in, like Enemy of the State, ID4, Bad Boys. Part 2 was too long, but Bad Boys was really good with him.
Mhm.
And I like these roles that he does. Now, Suicide Squad, I didn't like, but yeah, I thought Bright was really good. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it. It's a really good movie.
I want to
mean,
watch it.
Yeah, if you have a Netflix account, I mean,
It's free.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
pretty much
That's why I want this to succeed because
Yeah.
again, it was a big budget movie. I think it was like $80 or $90 million budget, which is
And
that's
for it
a-
to be put in Netflix, it's like
yeah,
Yeah,
if it-
it's 90 million and it was written by Max Landis.
yeah. So I'm telling you, it was and they had a poster that looks like a movie,
And they were at Comic-Con.
and they had a trailer, like a full trailer, just like a movie, and
look at that.
and it came out on a Friday, just like movies come out on Fridays. So so I hope Netflix, continues to put out movies
Yeah.
because again, I mean, we all have a Netflix account, and
until Disney comes out, and then they were leaving him. No, I'm just joking. No, but no,
and the
but
original series that Netflix puts out
are really good.
great. So
Yeah.
so I'm really hoping that it does well and that Netflix continues this trend.
Yeah, that movie was pretty good. Dunkirk, I saw. Now, let me just tell you, Christopher Nolan, excellent director. That's all I gotta say. But in terms of storytelling, Lord Almighty, let's just get this movie quick. Visually, stunning. Amazing. I loved it. World War II, he captured the essence of World War II. Storyline, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Dude, I'm being honest with you. Me and my wife was sitting there going, what is this film about? Because one minute Tom Hardy's in the movie. I'm not going to tell you what he did, but Tom Hardy's in the movie. And I'm like, okay, we're following him. And then all of a sudden it switches to two French guys. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I felt like I was playing a video game, like going back and forth.
Oh, man.
That was the point of the movie.
Yeah, I know.
There was really no plot. It was
wasn't.
just they just wanted to show you. He just wanted to show you the experience of war
From all angles.
on land, in the sea,
Oh,
and
and
on the
standing,
air.
and standing on the beach. I was like, why are we standing at the beach? I'm like, it's 3 hours. Dudes are standing at the beach.
But that was
Why
the
are we
point.
standing at the beach? No.
I didn't enjoy Dunkirk either. I give credit to Nolan for trying something new. And again, visually it looks great, but again, and it was confusing because it didn't really take place on the same time. One was a week, one was a day,
Yes.
one was a few hours, so it was different, and it kept going back and forth, and there was really no plot. But as far as what they were going through in the experience, I thought he captured that, and if that's what the point of his of what he wanted to accomplish, I guess he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was okay, but like I definitely don't think it's like best picture worthy, where some people are putting it in the best picture, like, I didn't see that.
No, I agree. Best picture, no. Hacksaw Ridge with Mel Gibson, best picture. That movie was hands down, I think, one of the best army movies I think I've seen. I don't know if you guys seen it.
No, I
Hacksaw
haven't
Ridge.
seen it.
No, I didn't see that.
That one follows a character, and that's all I'm gonna say. It follows that guy who plays Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
He's the
okay.
main guy in that movie.
Mhm.
Watch that movie, and then we'll come back and tell me about it. Because I'm telling you, if you
What's it
watch
called
that,
again?
It's called Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge. Okay.
Yeah, and the only reason Mel Gibson didn't win it because they gave it to the 21-year-old guy who directed La La Land, the best director for the Oscars or whatever.
Oh, for best director.
Yeah, they gave him to La La Land, and I thought Mel Gibson won it hands down. But
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. But
Emma in the chat says that in terms of Dunkirk, I was confused throughout the whole movie. I spent more time trying to figure out what was going on than actually paying attention to the movie.
no, it's actually I'm with her because I was like, what the? I had to rewind certain parts because I was like, wait a minute, why are we here? And then it was like I mean, there was a lot of cool shots.
Mhm.
A lot of cool shots when the boat capsizes and the cameras start to rotate and you feel like you're in the boat with them. That's what I'm gonna say. But it was cool. Like I said, guys, watch Hacksaw Ridge. That's a good movie. Before Ralph does his thing, so we can end it, go through Strange Planet, do whatever. I saw the 3 hours of Superman.
Oh, we forgot about that.
Yeah, I saw the 3 hours of the 3 hour long, 40-minute extended cut of Superman.
And
It is freaking long. You thought, I'm telling you right now, if you thought Batman versus Superman was long, sit through this because I'm telling you right now, it's first of all, it tells the story excellent. It tells us excellent. See, of course, the CGI and everything is outdated because you see them just standing there like this, and then the background is the World Trade Center, and look like they just going through clips. But it's very interesting, and a lot of the 40 minutes goes into Jor-El as Marlon Brando, explaining to him who he's gonna become. And it's really good. Like if you really sit down, it's a really I recommend it to anyone who's a Superman fan. If you're a huge Superman fan, check out the 3 hour. I mean, if you guys want to borrow it, you guys could borrow it just to see it. But it's a really good take on it's a pretty cool extended cut of it. That's what I gotta say about it. Like I said, I recommend it, but if you guys don't want to sit through a 3 hour movie of 1960s effects, don't do it. But Ralph, go ahead, go do your thing and go right in.
Yes, absolutely. I want to mention two things I saw. I saw Book of Henry with Naomi Watts this past week.
Okay.
I sat down and watched it. I said, hey, this was very good. It was a drama. It starred Naomi Watts as the mother of a very smart, very mature young man who unfortunately was hit with an ailment, and it kind of challenges her to even beyond her expectations and understanding, because he was more like he was playing more of the parent role and she was acting more like the kid. So the movie was of her realization of what her role should be, not only with her son who got hit with an illness, but with her younger son as well, and with helping other people out and becoming kind of growing up. She had to grow up. She had a lot of growing up to do as a mother, as a parent. Take that responsibility. It's very dramatic, and it has a very interesting twist about it that made you go, hey, wait a minute, what kind of movie is this? Is this drama or is this like suspense? So it turned out to be pretty good, and that was me being able to talk about a movie without giving anything away. So I'm not that bad, okay? All right, now moving on to the next thing.
Yes.
And this is something for those of you who are really into like astronomy and space and all that kind of stuff, like I am. I'm just gonna mention it real quick. Netflix has a documentary. Actually, it's from PBS. Really, it's called it's about Voyager.
Star Trek?
No.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Star Trek Voyager?
No,
I was at
not
Channel 9.
It's called The Farthest, Voyager in Space. And the reason, and it's all about the two Voyager spacecraft that were launched from Cape Canaveral in 1977 that took all the pictures that we're very familiar with of the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, all those pretty colorful pictures that is all over everybody's textbooks and photos, and every time we go into a museum or whatever, those spacecraft took them, and how they're carrying messages like a record. There's a little record, a golden record that has inscribed in it music.
You might have to
Earth.
explain that to some of our younger audience.
Yeah. In 19, okay, it's like an MP3. It's like like putting a music, just putting music in a disc, in a thing. Anyway, you know what I mean. They put not just music, but pictures, photos of our Earth, because thousands of years in the future, if an alien civilization is out there and intercept these things, they'll know a little bit about who we were. It's like throwing a message into the bottle, and a message in a bottle and throwing it into the ocean of space. And then because these things finished their taking pictures of the planets back in 1989, and it was only this past year that they finally really truly left the solar system and is now what is considered the space between the stars. Space is huge. So, I mean, wow, those things launched in 77 and now it just left the solar system and the thing is going 10 miles a second. That's fast. And it took that long. So it gives you some kind of perspective on how far we've come as a species. I thought it was just mad cool. I was so mesmerized by the way that it was made. It was one of those documentaries that you could just sit and watch and be like, so I liked it.
Have you guys ever seen Star Trek First Contact?
That's what I was gonna say. If you don't know what that is, look at Star Trek First Contact, because the Voyager is what pings them.
Ralph, you ever seen? Yeah,
yes, I know. I'm very familiar with Star Trek First Contact. And it was when, I know the whole story about that. Actually, what it reminded me of was the first Star Trek. You want to bring up Star Trek and the Voyagers. I think more of the original Star Trek film, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. The boring one that came out in 1979.
Terrible movie, but great concept.
Great concept, but they intercepted themselves one of the Voyager spacecraft, and so that plays a role in that. It's an interesting. It's just amazing how small we are, in this universe. It was like this little blip. They actually made the ship turn around and take a picture of all the planets in the solar system, and they're just like pixels, blips. And our Earth is just like a blue pixel hanging on a sunbeam from the sun. It's like they showed the picture, and I was like, that's deep.
So that blip was like a strange planet.
Yes, it was. It was a strange planet.
Thank you.
Oh, man. Perfect. Thank you, Pablo.
Go ahead, plug in your Strange Planet NYC. So
I already did. Earlier.
Oh, okay. Fine. We're going to start off the new year with a kick. We're going to be giving away 2 Blu-rays to 2 lucky winners.
That Superman movie.
Oh, no.
No, he's keeping that, Pablo.
That's limited edition, bro. You can keep that. You can keep that for yourself. I'm giving away Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tales No Tale.
Oh, nice.
Brand new, sealed. You got the digital copy, Blu-ray and DVD.
I'm surprised that wasn't in your top list.
What?
Because you raved about that movie.
No, it was a good movie, but if I had to compare it to the other ones, it wasn't that good. I mean, it was better than Justice Crap, but if I had to pick, I mean, anything was better than Justice League. But this was a pretty good movie. We haven't seen it. It was better than Stranger Tides, the one with the Fountain of Youth.
What's the other gift? What's the other one?
The other one I'll be giving away is Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
That's right, because that's right, we mentioned it earlier this month.
So I'm going to give away 2 to the lucky winners live on YouTube. So, yes, come back.
Tune in next week.
That's right. Subscribe, hit that like button. You know the deal. If you want to leave us any comments and questions, please email us at widerangemediapodcast@gmail.com or tweet at us at widerangemedia. Till next time, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My 2 co-hosts are...
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, guys. God bless.
Yep. And those are their names. Happy New Year and God bless. Yeah. All right, guys. Happy New Year. Catch y'all later.